Welcome to today's session, Discover Planning and Analytic Designer in SAP Analytics Cloud. My name is Deng. I am Product Manager for SAP Analytics Cloud. Today, I would like to guide you through this 30-minute session. I will start with the overview and then show you the typical use cases and the benefits. And then we go a little bit detailed look into the features and the functions. And then I will show you two great demos that you will see the benefits of the bringing analytic designer and planning capabilities all together. At the end, let's have a look into the roadmap. Before I started with the analytic designer and the planning, I would like to show you the slide about the intelligent enterprise. So here we see that the intelligent enterprise, we see the whole structure. We have the infrastructure part, and then we have the business technology platform, and then we have the intelligent suite and the industry cloud that are based on the business technology platform. And then on the top, we have the business process network. And the business technology platform is a foundation for scalable and sustainable and also intelligent suite. So Analytics Cloud, Analytic Designer, and the planning capabilities are part of the business technology platform. And now let's have a look into the overview about Analytics Designer. Analytic Designer is a capability within SAP Analytics Cloud. We provide different capabilities like scripting, like eventing, like a custom widget. With all of that capability, you will be able to create enterprise-ready planning applications or enterprise-ready analytical applications. So here that we provide customizing capabilities through eventing scripting, and we provide the integration capability that you can embed analytical application into other third-party applications or the other way around. And we provide extension capabilities that you can use the custom widget to create your own visualizations and widgets. And in the future, we also provide the reuse capabilities that you can create your own widgets in SAP Analytics Cloud and reuse in all other applications. And the whole analytical applications can be imported through Content Network, and you can consume these analytical applications also on mobile devices and also with SAP iOS app, SAC iOS app. So if you want to know more technical details about Analytic Designer, I suggest you to have a look into the developer handbook and also go to the API reference documentation to find the right APIs for your scenarios. Now let's have a look into the typical use cases that you can use Analytic Designer to cover your planning use cases. In general, Use Analytic Designer can help you to build scalable, user-friendly, custom-tailored, and guided planning applications to reduce the complexity for end user. So the benefit the end user get is that they can get very personalized, guided planning workflow and the planning process, and to help them to very easily, convenient to complete their work. So with Analytic Designer, we can combine convenient story features with comprehensive scripting capabilities altogether. And in addition, we can provide a form-based planning workflow and planning applications that end user can work with forms that to complete their planning work. And we can also guide planners through a self-explaining applications, implementing rules and validations aligned with a modern UI standard. That means the end user get guided planning applications and through different user interfaces to complete their work very efficiently. In addition, using Analytic Designer, we can integrate calendar task activities into applications that your planner can do their planning work and also the calendar task activities, all within one analytical application, all within one user interfaces without the need to jump to another user interfaces. And also in addition, we all know data actions are a very important part for the planning scenarios. with Analytic Designer, you can trigger data actions based on the event and also the transfer parameters automatically, that your end user can very easily to trigger the data actions and also don't need to always to select the variable values, etc. So here we have a context-based triggering data actions is possible with Analytics Designer. And in addition, that if you want your planning applications to be more responsive, have a responsive design, and also to be consumed on the mobile devices, you can use the Analytics Designer to do so. So that's a typical use cases for using Analytic Designer to create your analytical applications. So the main idea is that you can create more custom-tailored, guided planning workflow, planning applications. And in addition, Analytic Designer provide also additional capabilities like theming and the CSS capabilities. You can create more attractive user interfaces with Analytic Designer. And the responsive layout we already mentioned before, we provide more advanced responsive capabilities that you can create one application and adapted for different screen resolutions and also mobile devices. We provided the alerting and the data change insight capability that inform end user the most important data changes in the analytical applications. In addition, with analytical applications, you have the full flexibility to transfer parameters, to take over parameters through different applications and also through different widgets. And with Analytic Designer, you can also embed analytical application into third-party applications. And you can also use custom widgets to create your own widgets. Like you see on the screen, 3D parking houses here, you can use custom widgets to create it and then integrate it into your planning applications. Last but not least, Analytic Designer also provides the OData interfaces that you can, within analytical application, to trigger an OData action at the back end, for example, in S4 or in BW systems, that will help you to implement a closed loop scenario with Analytical Designer. That's all of the benefits of using Analytics Designer to create planning applications. Now let's have a look into what you need to do on the feature level with Analytics Designer to building your planning functionalities. So first, a general principle, what all available within stories of planning capabilities are available within Analytic Designer, that you can see this toolbar. That this toolbar is also available in the Analytic Designer, so that you can directly trigger the planning functions from the toolbar. The second, most of the functionalities within the toolbar are exposed as a script API, that you can very conveniently build your own widget like buttons to trigger these planning functions to reduce the complexity, reduce the click for your end users. And what the supported planning models are the same like a story. Quite a planning model, BPC Live planning model, BPC Write Back planning model, and the new model. And what you need to do at application runtime. So as I mentioned, you got all of the toolbar functionality in the Analytic Designer at application runtime that you can do all of the activities here. And in addition, we expose the script APIs for all of these functionalities that you can create your own widgets to trigger these functions to minimize the number of clicks, to can create your personalized user interface and also cover customer-specific workflow and also the scenarios. And the next, let's have a look into what you need to do for the planning at application design time. So we provide different script APIs and the technical components to enable you to expose these planning functionalities. So first, we provided the table actions script APIs. That means using these script APIs, you can trigger the table actions like version management, data locking. And we provide planning model actions like add, update, remove the member for the planning model. And for that, you need to create the technical components called planning models here. You can leverage all of the calendar task APIs For that, you need to create the technical component in the analytic design called calendar task, and you can trigger context-based trigger data actions. And for that, you need to create a technical components data actions. And to access all table-based planning functionalities, you need to use a table.getPlanning as a script API, and you can enable the table-based planning capabilities, or you can also use a script API to set this planning functionality enabled. So that's in an overview what we provide in the application design time that to enable you to cover the planning activities. And then now you can also use a script API to trigger data actions. And for that, within one event or within one unclick event, you can trigger multiple data actions one by one. And we can also trigger the data refresh on purpose, like here. And for example, you trigger data action 1, 2, 3. When it's finished, then you trigger the table.to get refreshed. So with that, you can also get the performance advantages. And for trigger data actions, you need to configure the data action technical component in the design time. With this, also configure the parameters already in the design time. The second is you can integrate the calendar task integrations into the analytical applications. And for that, we provide different script APIs that you can submit a task within analytical application based on the parameters the user selected, or if the calendar task creator can submit a task, and the approver can get into the analytic application and also directly look at the planning details and then directly click on approve tasks. So that's how you can combine analytic design with calendar task all into one analytical applications. In addition, we provide different script API that you can get the information about your current task, calendar task, about name, start date, end date, status, due date, etc. So that's the calendar task integration part. Now I would like to show you two very interesting demos.
So in front of you, you see an analytical applications called margin optimization. So we see that global revenue, and we see the margin per date for actual, margin per date for the planning. We see that the information in the table view. We see the information also in the chart view. So here, using Analytic Designer, you will be able to, using the alerting functionalities, to send you the notification or email to inform you about the critical situation. So the trigger what I get into this application is that actually I am get an email notification here that I let you see. That's the email what I got. That this email is basically telling me that the margin forecast is below 0 for the calendar week 11. As you can see, I am able to basically to see that critical situation, that's a margin in the minus area, and then I would like to open the application. That's basically what you have seen before, or directly go to the proposals. So using analytic application also for your planning processes, you will be able to get a notification or email about the critical situation. So that's basically the trigger and alert. I'm getting informed, and then now I'm able to get into my application. So that's the application. So first I look into, wow, that is a margin in the minus area, and I can have a detailed look into this margin, and then the system already guide me. So I see the critical situation, and then using different widget, system guide me go to how to solve this issue. So I go to the proposals. So in the pop-up window, click on go to proposals. I am automatically guided from the overview page to the proposal page. And in this proposal pages, we see there are two proposals. For this situation, margin is too lower, and then we have either the capability to, or the solution to change the vendor, or I can change the production quantity. So for the changes of vendor here, for example, we see here different business KPIs. So you see, I can basically using actually let's have a look into, for example, I just change it for the handlebar for the bicycle to another vendor to Eisen. I change that, and once I have changed it to the other vendor, and then we will be able to see that the simulated margin has been adjusted. Or I can here also change here and to another vendors, and then we will be able to see the simulated margin is from 3% to the 2%. So here we can using analytic design capabilities, scripting capability to do this kind of simulation. Means if I changed some factors in my process, what's the effect applied to my final margin or revenues? And even I can also from this application jump to another application that I want to show here to see open analysis to get the further information. So here I mentioned before, using analytic designer, you can jump different artifacts, and also the parameter should be already transferred through. So now we are jump from our planning applications now into typical BI ad hoc analysis scenario. Within this scenario, we will be able to get further more information about our analysis. So let me make a little bit bigger so that you see here better. And we see different vendors. You see the date, unit price, and the material I selected frame is transferred automatically from this actual application to this application. So as end user, I don't need to take care. Parameter transfer through. So currently I'm analyzing the frame, and I see the frame from different vendors, and I can further using this analytic application to do the further analysis. For example, please add the rating for here different vendors, and I can, for example, close this part, and then we see different ratings for these vendors and know whether I should change a vendor also based on this rating information. So that's just want to show you that you can jump from analytical application to the other one. Parameter can be transferred through, and you can get the further information. And then let's go back to our planning application here, and to make a little bit smaller that you can see the entire page for this application. And there one option is to change the vendor. I see actually that I can, with the simulated margin 2%, and I can also change the other, I can adjust the production quantity. So here, for example, I can say, okay, for the production quantity, maybe for the mountain bike for the next month, I have a really contract, I need to deliver 400 pieces. And with these 400 pieces, we see simulated margin is go to 13%, but I don't have enough working time. Here is again simulation part. What I can do with analytic design is to say mountain bike quantity is already fixed for this month. I would like to ask the system to suggest me the best combination. So what I got the system suggest me is that I can achieve 9% of the margin, and with the working time, that's okay. And with the e-bike with 500, racing bike for racing bike here is also the 500, and the trekking bike 200, and the mountain bike for 400. So after simulation, for me, is the quantity for the mountain bike, and the other quantities are okay. I can reach the margin for the 9%. So what should we do here as a planner? Of course, after simulation, I know that's a good solution. I want to publish this planning version into a public version, right? So now I would like to do the publishing. So I can click on button. What this button doing is that based on this quantity, production quantity I defined, it will calculate the raw material quantity. So we will be able to see as a next, a pop-up is coming up, and within this pop-up, we will be able to see all the raw material like wheel, frame, handles are all basically calculated based on my adjusted production quantity. And if I click on the confirm button, I am execute a data action to write back the whole information into a public planning version. So you will be able to see I click on the confirm button in the background, the data action is running, and we will be able to see also a customized message to telling me my data action is running successful here. Okay, so once this data action is done, so we can go back to the overview page, then we will be able to see the adjusted raw material quantity and also the adjusted margin optimization. You see our margin optimization is exactly, that's the same like what I simulated in the proposal tag with 9%. Here I would like to show you another application about workforce planning. This workforce planning analytical application is delivered as a standard business content with the Q3 QRC releases. You only need to install this business content, import that your own tenant, and then you will be already leverage it. So first, this analytical application has a landing page. With this landing page, we see the most important key figure here. And here we see here different area. And you can configure your applications and you can to do your detailed planning. And later on, you can also to see the reports, statistic analysis about the gender analysis, progress overview, and so on. So let's have a look into a detailed internal FTE planning. So I am a navigator from this landing page to this internal FTE planning application. So here we see that we combine the analytical design capabilities with the planning capabilities all together to create this kind of planning application. Here you can plan absence or movement, or you can plan the new hires, and then you can immediately see the total costs currently and also the headcount, the number. So this header area, we see header areas, we see here data area. Under this header area, you can also hide. Under that, you can have more spaces to do your planning work. Now let's have a look into this FTE planning. So I have first, let's select a particular employee, Sandra. So once I select it, I see on the here, that's the particular employee selected, and then I can take an action. So what would I like to plan? So I would like to adjust the employment level, for example, here. And then the pop-up is coming. So it's a guided user experience, a guided planning workflow that I can plan for Sandra. And then I will say Sandra would like to work for the Q4 with a 70%. So I selected start from October to December and then click done. What has been happening in the background is an data action is executing in the background to adjust the employment level of the Sandra and also to adjust the whole headcount cost. So we see the information that the data action has successfully executed in the background. And then now we will be able to see the updated table with the updated information now. And let's have a look into that's Sandra. And here then we can also move our to navigate a little bit here. Then we see that with the Sandra here, that's executive assistant, and then for the October to December has the 70% employment level. So if we now actually to show the again, the application header again, we will see the updated total costs and also the updated headcount for the Q4 area because we adjusted Sandra's headcount work employment level. So that's the first, the overview FTE. So we can also go to another table also related to the internal employee FTE plan about the cost. You see here I have a collapsed lane layout so that in one analytical application, I can always close one area, open the other area that I can concentrate it on. So here we can have a look into here different costs, and we can also say, okay, let's go to Sandra here, and then I would like to go to the total costs to open it. To adjust her cost because she is the executive executive. She's the executive assistant. So I want to adjust some company costs and so on. So here I would like to turn on the adjustment mode that I can adjust her cost. And I also would like to open the different time period 2021 and so on. And here I can say open that in the table to see different time period from the January to December for the 2021. So here that we see that the time period is coming, and then here I can say, okay, yeah, I would like to the overhead headcount cost in sum. So maybe open that again in the table. And we see that the car allowance per employee, I can to have adjustment because executive assistant. So I want to add actually more percentage, more budget for her, for Sandra, and because she's doing this executive assistant's job, for example, I can say just add the 20% for the car allowance here. Then what happening is that I planned basically in the table at 20%, and then now in the background, everything basically will be added to the different amount and so on. And so I have adjusted Sandra's. I have adjusted here. You see. With that, with 0.4K, with the adjustment is distributed here. So I have adjusted Sandra's also car allowance cost. And once I added it, if you add the total costs, then you will see the total cost has been also updated based on my FTE cost planning. So that's basically the quick run of this planning application that you see. We have different, we're using the data action triggering by scripting API. If I want to now confirm that, I can click on the confirm. I can also click on the reset. So all of these planning activities are combined within this analytical application. And I, as planner, have a dedicated guided experience to run through this application to do my planning work. And so if I want to do now, go back to my landing page, click on the home screen, and then we get back into here in the landing page. Okay, that's the second demo for the workforce planning. And here you see also the detailed functionality that you can bring the analytic design capability integrated with a planning capability to enable you to create a guided planning user experience. Thank you.
Let's have a look into the roadmap, what we planned for the future releases. In the Q4 QRC releases, we are going to deliver the linked analysis support with the linked analysis diagram. For the planning area, we are providing the planning area support and the multi-account hierarchy support. And for the performance features, we provide automatic pulse refresh features, and we provide additional script APIs here. And also, we are providing the beta program for the optimized view time. For the next year in the Q1 QRC releases, for our existing alerting or data change insight capability, we will provide a central access for these important data changes within SAC. And then we are planning to provide some bookmarks enhancement, customer widget to be exported in the PDF. For the planning area, also important is that we are providing the script APIs that you can share private planning versions. And also in the Q1 QRC releases, we're providing the performance features. And in the future releases, we are further concentrating on the mobile app support and also the composite templates concept, and also the customer widgets for the enhancements, and also undo redo capability in the design time. Okay, so that's the quick run of the roadmap. You can always get most important roadmap information in the Roadmap Explorer in the internet. Thank you very much for attending this session. I hope you enjoyed this session, get all of the information what you need. So in case if you have any questions or need any other information, feel free to reach out to me. Then I wish you enjoy the rest of the TechEd. Bye.